So I had someone ask me how you drive a grease seal into a drum, if there's any tips or tricks. And I thought I'd show kind of what I do. So I got the seal here, and I'm just going to get it started with a hammer and kind of get it started as square as I can with a hammer. And then I've got this seal driver, which would be the best way of doing it, except the seal driver I got isn't really big enough. It really should be bigger than the seal so that it can bridge the entire seal and hit the drum all the way around. So this doesn't work. You can't just use this driver to drive that in there or it'll drive it crooked. But if you get it started with a hammer and then use the seal driver, even if it's too small, you can use that to finish it off. So I thought I'd just kind of show the way that I do this. Just get your seal in there. Make sure your bearing's in there. Don't make that mistake. So you just kind of square your seal up as best you can. And just get it started. And it'll start hard. There, now we're started all the way around. All right, now we're in. We're driving all the way around. It's going down pretty flat. Now you can use your seal driver to kind of go off to the edge and just tap it down along the edge. And you'll feel it and you'll hear it when it's all the way in. That seal driver will be hitting the rim out here, and you'll be able to hear it. There, hear that tone change. Now we are in all the way, and that seal is done. So then before you put it on, I take just a real light, coating of grease, just so it's got a little bit of lube on there. So when you put it on the spindle, it's not dry. But that seal is done and ready to go. Okay, so now that I got that seal in there, I'm gonna go ahead and put it on the spindle. So this is clean. I've already wiped that off. Got a light coating of grease on this grease seal there. And I've dry fit this drum already, so these brakes are set to match the drum. So I'll go ahead and put this on there. Just be careful not to gouge your seal as you're sliding it on the spindle. Alright, so that's slid on there. You can hear the brakes dragging just a little bit. That's what you want. That's how you know that brake is set about where it needs to be. Okay, so I got that drum on there, and you can hear it. You can hear a little bit of drag, and it's sticking just a little bit. So that's a good sound. That's what you want. You want to be able to hear those shoes in there dragging. So now just take your bearing, make sure it's nice and clean. Fresh grease. Just slip it in there like that. Get your washer. This one's got the flat washer, or the flat side on the washer, so you can just slide that on there. There's no way to do that wrong. And get your cotter nut, or castle nut. And then what I do, you just tighten this nut up. Tighten it up way too tight. Spin the drum. Okay, that's as tight as I can get it, or it rounds the nut off. So what that does is that seats the bearings. Now it's going both directions. Now all I do is I back it off so it's finger tight. I go till it's finger tight and to the next slot on the castle nut. I got probably, I'm guessing 5 foot-pounds or something on there. It's hardly anything, just past finger tight. So now that's spinning in there real nice. Now you can just take your cotter pin, slide it in there, bend it over, and then clean your cap up real good, get all that out of there. Tap that back on and you should be good for quite some time. So I'm just gonna bend this over, and it really don't, like, that's plenty. You really don't need to do any more than that. I'm gonna bend it all the way over and kind of tap it flat a little bit. Not for any particular reason other than I don't want it hitting the cap. So these should go on fairly easy. I've had some that are really buggers to get on, but these aren't too bad. You can kind of just tap them lightly. I try to avoid hitting them on the face. It just makes them look like that, and that bugs me. So you can just get a screwdriver or a cold punch. Just kind of tap them. They don't need to fit any tighter than that. I have had some that were super tight, and those are no fun. But this is tight enough to keep the grease inside, and really that's all you got to do. So I'd say that's fully seated, and we are going to be good on these for a long time. Got fresh grease, brand new brakes. I'm not fitting to be in here for quite some time now, so we'll call that a job well done.